In this video, we're going to show you how you can speed up your Mac, increase your connectivity for your recording studio, and back up your important music. So get ready to rock. Hey Rockstars, I'm Lid Shaw and this is Larry O'Connor. How are you, Larry?
Doing great. Day number 2 at NAMM, having a good time.
Awesome. And if this is your first time here and you want to learn how to record, edit, mix, and master your best record ever, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss anything from us here at Recording Studio Rockstars. In this video, we want to give you a quick tour of what's going on here at the OWC booth, Winter NAMM 2019, and show you how you can increase the speed of your existing Mac, increase your connectivity, hook up to more things with your Mac, and back up your important data.
We do it all, absolutely.
All right, cool. Let's jump in and we'll take a look. Okay, Rockstars, you can see here on the Mac Pro, if you swap out the drives with these SSD Mercury Extreme Pro 6G drives, it really speeds up your Mac a lot. What do you want to tell us about these, Larry?
Yeah, these guys are all super fast, silent, run cooler than your hard drives. You've got such amazing horsepower in the Silver Tower. The Silver Tower is still in high demand. There's things this thing can do that even the latest aren't able to do. If you're just looking to make it a little faster, want a little more instrumentation, SSDs, make everything just lightning fast. We have our Pro trays that are designed to mount those 2.5 straight up, so you can easily swap in, swap out. You don't have to use adapters. Go straight to the backplane. More memory, you can go up to 128 in the Silver Tower. GPU, do you have something that can benefit from that GPU horsepower? You can put up to a Radeon 580, even a Vega 56 into the Mac Pro. These are video cards like the 580. The 580 is something that's shipping in some of the latest iMacs, so you don't have to buy a brand new computer to have the latest capability. The horsepower of this machine's amazing.
Why don't you show us how these drives work? I think sometimes we think about swapping it out. We're like, how is this mini drive going to fit in a 3.5-inch hard drive slot?
Sure, it's actually super easy. So you can use your existing tray with an adapter. This is actually the newer tech adapter drive. So you mount the adapter onto the tray, and then your existing Apple tray will go right on back in, and it lines to the backplane, just pushes in. Or you can get our Pro trays. So the OWC, the Mount Pro 2.5-inch, and this guy is designed just for 2.5-inch. And now there's no adapter, there's no backplane. It's just straight in. It actually goes straight from the drive connector right down the rails into the backplane.
And it just slides right in. Now that's the same drive that we can use to put an SSD inside our laptops, right?
Of course, inside the laptop you don't need an adapter. It's plug and play.
Well, let's go take a look at the laptops and see how that works. Now, is this really tricky, Larry, or is this just something that anybody can do? And do you guys help us understand how to install an SSD in a laptop?
From day one, and this goes back 30 years, we started doing videos to show people how easy it is. Once you see the process, you're going to be ready to do it in 5 minutes. And this stuff literally takes, depending on what the upgrade is, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes to do. Very, very easy. Watch the video, follow the directions. Super simple. These are things anybody can do. In the case of the MacBook Pros, 2008 to 2012, which are extremely upgradable machines, very easy to upgrade. That bottom plate comes off with about 8 screws. It lifts off, and then you have access to everything. You have access to your memory, you have access to a battery, keep them running long. The SSD, this is where the hard drive was, and this is now where the OWC SSD goes. So the old drive comes out, the new drive goes in. We include a kit that has a transfer enclosure, so you can take your existing data, easily transfer it to the new drive, and guess what? Now it's a new external drive you can use for backup, use for additional data, whatever you want to use it for. So you're not even throwing away that original drive. And if you really want to take advantage, you replace the optical drive with a second drive. So you can kind of have a built-in time machine. You can do that now. We got an enclosure for the original optical drive, so when you do need that optical, now you can plug that in external and use it at will. But when you're on the road, you got that extra capacity, that extra performance, that extra everything inside that makes these machines really, really amazing. It really is a brand new machine when you take that hard drive out and put in one of our SSDs.
Well, so one of the things, Rockstars, that you should consider, which I've done with my laptop, is swap out the system drive with an SSD and then also swap out the optical drive with an SSD and commit that to my audio recording drive and my Dropbox folder. All right, cool. So let's take a look at the Retina computers and see how the install looks a little different and how you guys can work with that.
Sure. Well, the MacBook Pros, the pre-Retinas, those may have only come with, when you got it, as little as 128 gig, and now you can put up to 2 terabytes in. It's just this little blade compared to the little 2.5-inch drive you have over there. Now it's this simple blade, but that's up to 2 terabytes today. It gives you all the speed, the performance, and the capacity you need to create when you're on the road. You can even replace the battery. You should never have to replace a computer, any Mac, because of a battery, memory, or storage limitation.
So this little guy right here is 2 terabytes of hard drive right there?
That is a 2 terabyte, so yes.
That's amazing. All right, and that kind of reminds me of the Envoy Pros and the Envoy Pro Mini. So maybe we should take a look at that and start talking about being able to back up your data, where you can have sort of a miniature hard drive SSD to back up all your data. Should we take a look at those?
So when you need something external for backup, you can have your entire instrument library on them. You can have an OS that boots on this. This is a full-fledged SSD, shipping up to 48 gigabytes as of NAMM right now, 1 terabyte in just 3 weeks. But this little guy supports data rates of close to 500 megabytes a second, plugs into anything with a USB 3 port, use it with USB Type-C via just a simple adapter. This is a full-fledged SSD that sits on a lanyard, can go around your neck and do everything for you. It's not just a basic flash drive. That is a full-fledged SSD controller in there.
And it'll do a terabyte in that little guy?
1 terabyte in this little guy. And it's 1 terabyte that you can use like a real drive. Not like those little thumb drives you get, great for a little while and then they start to flake out. This is a real SSD.
All right, what else we got?
We go on to the Envoy Pro EX. This is still super slim, super rugged, fits very easily in a pocket, palm of your hand. This now goes up to 2 terabytes. Super high performance, another great way to, again, have your data all in one place, boot off it, run your instrument library off it, capture to it, back up to it. So you got something very small and compact. Put your data on it, put it away, and life is good. You can run off of it too.
And then I know you guys also have some really great backup solutions where you can have a dual hard drive inside a single enclosure with RAID software that will literally back up your data to 2 drives at once, right?
Correct. This has got built-in hardware, RAID 1. You can do RAID 0 on it. I mean, this product is used for everything from audio capture to editing to even 4K editing and capture projects. But here, there's 2 drives inside, fits in your backpack, it's bus powered. So when your data is super important, RAID 1 it up to 4 terabytes, and now you can have simultaneous backup. When you transfer data to it, you actually got 2 drives in there that'll have a copy of your data. If you ever need to, anything crazy happens, you can yank one of those drives out, put it anywhere, in anything, and your data's accessible. One thing about all of our solutions, and we feel this is very, very important, there's nothing proprietary going on. We're not doing things to where you're locked into having to have it in an OWC enclosure with a certain firmware version. You have full access and full interoperability with our drives. Your data is priceless, and we do everything we can to have the maximum availability to your data for you.
Now, I know you guys also help us out with just connectivity. So let's say we have Macs going all the way back to 2012. If we need to hook up more stuff to our Mac, which we need to do a lot of in the studio, you guys have some solutions for us, right?
Every year Apple seems to give us fewer and fewer ports and takes away all the great ports that we used to always depend upon. Fortunately, we've got solutions, and those are our Thunderbolt 3 docks, our Thunderbolt 2 docks. Thunderbolt 3 is here, which has 14 ports to those new Type-Cs. Everything after 2016 has only got those little Type-C ports. You might have 2 of them, you might have 4 of them. Now you can plug in 14 ports, charges your laptop, gives you USB Type-A's, gives you USB 3.1 Gen 2, gives you audio in, optical audio out, also gives you Ethernet. I forgot about video. You can connect up to 2 4K displays to our Thunderbolt 3 docks. So it gives you everything you need in one cable. This is the Thunderbolt 3 dock. These are the ports on the back. You got the display, another Thunderbolt, all the USB Type-A's, optical, Ethernet. And then you go to the front of the machine, micro SD, full-size SD, you got headphone out, fast charging port, USB 3.1 Gen 2 high-speed port. So every kind of connectivity. It's not just a bunch of ports. We have real pipelines in there to make sure you can take advantage of Thunderbolt 3. When you load every port up and need to transfer that data, need to have all those ports actually doing something, guess what? They work. And that's one of the reasons why OWC's Thunderbolt 2 dock and Thunderbolt 3 dock are pretty much demanded by those in the professional space. Lots of docks give you ports. There just aren't docks like this that give you ports that actually can all be going and your workflow rolling.
So what kind of computer would you want to have if you wanted to be using a dock like that?
Anything with Thunderbolt. We have our Thunderbolt 2 version, so anybody with Thunderbolt 2 goes all the way back to 2011. The MacBooks, the Mac Minis from 2011 and later, MacBook Airs, all these guys have Thunderbolt.
Awesome, and I know you guys also have some USB docks.
But these give you 10 ports, again, give you a fast reader, give you USB high power for charging your data, more USB ports in the back, you get a USB 3.1 Gen 1 port for Type-C devices, Ethernet, SD-USB port, this is the mini display port. And that's a mini display port with DP++, which means you can plug in DVI, HDMI, VGA, or DisplayPort into this, and this also will power your computer and keep it going. So for a MacBook 12-inch, even for a MacBook 2016, we take full advantage of the USB Type-C pipe for this product. This is the little sister to the Thunderbolt 3 dock, and depending upon your needs, this is incredible value, incredible port capability.
Awesome.
And it just works.
And then what's this little guy over here?
This is the travel dock that's not just a travel dock. This is a true power delivery dock, which means it doesn't just give you the ports. You got an SD port, you got USB Type-A on this side, you got another USB Type-A over here, and an HDMI. So it can do all these things for you when you're on the field, on the road. It'll do it in your office or in your home too. But the really awesome thing is, again, we don't have a lot of ports in these new systems. Some of the new systems, only have 1 port, like a MacBook 12-inch. This works with Chromebook, this works with Windows PCs as well. When you need the power and charge, you plug your power supply into this Type-C port, everything continues to work, and now you're charging your computer and powering your computer as well. That's the difference, by the way, between a dock and a hub. Under 60 bucks. And there are so many products in this price range that call themselves docks. They're really just dumb hubs. When you have to use a dedicated port on your computer for charging, that means potentially you got to give up devices that you're using for your workflow. And when they call those things docks, that's not cool.
Awesome. Well, Larry, thank you so much for showing us around OWC here at Winter NAMM 2019. How can the rock stars find you guys online and learn more about these products that you're making?
Hey, check us out at OWC.com. I just want to say this, the creativity, the music starts with you guys. This is the stuff you plug in, you connect your gear with, you get your backups going, and you don't have to think about it. Put that creative energy to make an awesome music. So rock and roll.
You want to get down and make music and just know that your computer's going to work for you. Rock stars, remember to hit the subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss any videos from us here at Recording Studio Rock Stars. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.
Cheers. Awesome.